Darling, come on, dance. Let's dance. And party, and party, and party, and fucking party. Dance, honey. Get the fuck out of here. Dance with me. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Look, I'll talk about what I want to talk about, and you have no say in the matter. I'll include style, but I'm also going to talk about having to get up and go to fucking work. I didn't talk about that exactly. You'll let me do it, and if you don't like it, I'll spit in your face. And you'll have to pay me for it. So get it started. Are you rolling yet? Are you rolling yet? You have to friggin' wake me up? I was sleeping, you come by, you said you're coming at 10, you came at 9:30. Remember? You dumbass Pisces. Bleh. I will not go to work unless I look fabulous, because I am fabulous. I will not go. Like, some people just show up to work and they look like crap. Boring, ugly outfits. No thanks. I'm a star. If somebody's rich, or if they find a person that they like being with, maybe their life isn't so bad. But a lot of times that gets messed up anyway. Even when people have a happy life, don't count on it lasting forever. Hi, I'm Jerry Visco, and I live on the Upper East Side. It's a rent-stabilized apartment. And in one way, I'm an uptown bitch. That means I don't live downtown, like all the other hipsters, because I don't need to. I like being the only cool person that stands out like a sore thumb. This is just my art project. It's called Visco Disco. I'm a hoarder, you could say. I almost object to the term hoarders. It's a neologism which has been invented by anal retentive, boring people. We're not going to be able to go to the yoga class now, thanks to you. We won't make it in time. It's your fault. And yes, this is an art project, because we are all living in this world, and we are all subjects of our environment. And I feel that my art is in my life. So I'm going to give you a little tour here, and I'm going to try to propose this to various art institutions. I see no reason why not. This guy that lived with me for 8 months that didn't even pay rent, he painted the walls, and he didn't even ask me half the time. I'm kind of easygoing, too easygoing actually, because I did get in trouble with the landlord. I had to pay like a lawyer for $1,000, and I had to pay a $1,000 fine. Can you see the clutter? Let's see, I'm going to try to get the video cam to show you. I don't feel like I have a lot of anxiety or mental trauma. Like, I'm not sitting around worrying. Like, a lot of people, like, all they have constant anxiety or panic attacks, and they're worrying, or they're thinking about, oh, I don't have a relationship. Oh, I wonder if they like me. Oh, I can't pay my rent. It's like, if the cops are knocking on the door, I'm not even going to worry. I'm thinking, I'll handle it. I don't worry about anything. At a certain point when I was a child or a teenager, I decided, like, worrying is getting me nowhere. Being in pain and feeling bad about stuff, where's that getting me? Okay, if I'm dying, it's unfortunate, so I'm dead. Like, what's the worst that can happen? Dying. My bedroom is also quite bad. There's a combination of reasons. It's because I've had people live here in this small one-bedroom apartment, and I'm afraid that they're gonna, like, lose my stuff. And actually, they have lost my stuff, so this is my bed. It's pretty messy. This is the floor. Yes, there's clothes everywhere. Can you see them? Can you see them? Can you see it? I'm standing on my clothes. Look, I'm thirsty, hungry. I want to do yoga. I have to go to the bathroom. What else do you want to know? I live here with Leo Gugu at the moment, who's also fabulous. But he also, it's like a giant closet. He's got clothes everywhere.
Well, she likes taking pictures of homeless people on the train. after we've been out together, and I stopped taking the train with her.
You don't want to dance? I'll find some other bitch that wants to dance. Bye, bitch! You're boring! Stop lying there! Get up off your fat ass and dance! No! I have no sympathy for you! Shake your fat ass and dance it, honey! Shake that ass, honey!
You know, you gotta love it. Sometimes she is embarrassing, but if she won't, who will? But yeah, living with Jerry is, has its highs and lows, you know.
He called me up once in the middle of the night because he had no place to stay, and 3 years ago, and I let him stay here, but I undercharged him.
It's not like unlivable. There's just clothing everywhere. Like there's her coat right here. I'm like in her closet.
He's like totally, he can't function. Although he does have a job, but he has a boyfriend that pays for everything. The rent is always late. He's not paying a share.
Sometimes I pretend like I'm still asleep, though I'm awake, because she's always like, Google, you up? You up? And I'm just like, yeah, but my eyes are closed. I'm like naked. And she's like, can you come take this photo for Instagram for me? And I'm like, oh my God, like, not Instagram at like 8 in the morning. Leave me alone.
Anyway, I don't want to keep talking about this. It's a bit annoying and boring.
This bitch acts like this every single day. This is really her. This is where she lives. This is how she lives. This is Geraldine motherfucking Visco.
So I'm taking this off. You're not going to push me around, you. Just because you're a guy doesn't mean you can push me around. You may be 6'3", and I might be 5'6", but I'm tougher than you. Yeah. Here. Bye, bitch. I'm going to the bathroom. See you later. Yeah. Plus, I'm getting hungry. Okay. Art project, babies. It's called Visco Disco, and I'm Geraldine Winifred Visco. Join in the efforts to help make Visco Disco more fabulous. A lot of times I'll wake up at 8:30 or 9. Then I have to spend an hour. I spend an hour in bed, like Instagramming or going through Facebook. I cab it to work usually because I'm like an hour too late. Hi, how are you? Hi. I'm going uptown. Well, it's 11:49. I mean, the office opens at 9, but I don't have to be there technically till 10. Or my feeling is 11 is fine time. Well, if you're a little late, who gives a crap? Also, Italians are always late. I think that being late is actually fine. I mean, yes, I've missed a few things, but so you can go straight through unless there's construction, in which case, no, there isn't. Okay, go straight through. I don't feel stressed about being late because, okay, I'm here, and they're lucky to have me. I'm a diva. But I'm a diva that does a lot of work. Jerry time is my time, doing what I want when I want. But like, as I was saying, my grandmother died. We wound up getting late to the funeral, which was at the cemetery. So the priest did the cemetery for my grandmother. Take a right here. Without us. I mean, the immediate family wasn't even there. And that really annoyed me, but guess what? I'd written a poem about my grandmother, and I read it aloud, and I did my own service. So it was fine, but, you know, the priest was being a jerk. He's like, I'm busy, I can't wait for the family. Take a right here. It's control. It's like people trying to control other people, and they like say, oh, if you're late, you're not being considerate. That's bullshit. Whoever invented time is an asshole. Fuck them. Time is not important. It's about being in the present. The future and the past, big deal. So this is my office in the Department of Classics. I've worked at Columbia for 30 years, but I've worked at this department since the fall of 1996. I do have some independence here. I'm the manager of the office, so they call it Academic Department Administrator. There's good things about working here. I mean, I got my education here, so I have 3 degrees from Columbia, and that's how I paid for it. The Jerry Party is about enjoying yourself, enjoying your life, and being around people and having a good time, but it does not involve doing a job, wasting all your day doing stuff when I should be doing yoga, okay? I should be doing yoga, I should be swimming, I should be cooking, I should be doing other things that are more, that I feel are more productive. But, apparently this is how I have to make a living, so it could be worse things. Geraldine, Geraldine, V as in Victor, ISCO. If you have that Briggs-Myers test, I think it's ESFP. I'm 100% extroverted. I'm also somewhat attention deficit disorder, so I don't really like being stuck doing penny ante little bullshit things. Paperwork. Somebody should be doing that for me. Why am I paying premiums, sir? Listen, honey bun, why am I paying premiums? No, if you don't let me finish, where you transfer me to? The thing is, right now I'm working 4 different jobs as it is. I'm a nightlife host, I'm a photographer, I'm a performer, I work at Columbia University full-time, I'm a writer. And one way I had other aspirations, like obviously acting. I would have liked to have been Gloria Swanson. Okay, that would have been my ideal. Anyway, I cannot spend any more time on this. I am very busy with other things, but I'm just wondering why it's taking so long to get this. Otherwise, I was considering being a hitman for the mafia. I'm a quarter Irish, so they might have held that against me. I mean, back in those days, you had to be like 100% Italian. I was also thinking that I would be good on the trading floor because I like screaming and yelling at people. No! I just told you. Like, do you listen or what? What state are you in? Kansas? Look, the address here at Columbia University is 116 in Amsterdam or 116 in Broadway. It is not 120th Street. I just told you that is not where the campus is. I don't like having to pretend to be nice and stuff like that. It bores me. I am who I am. You know what's up. People never say, gee, I wonder what Jerry Visco's thinking. You know what I'm thinking. It ain't part of the campus, honey. It ain't part of the campus, and it shouldn't pop up. I'll be retiring in 2 years, thank God. I want to do things that I feel like my talents are best suited towards. Get out of here. That's baloney. I feel like the worst thing you can possibly do is retire and not work at all and do nothing. People like that get depressed and they die young. Figure out our address. It's called Google. You ever hear Google? Go on to Google and Google Columbia University. That ain't the address. Our system in the United States is actually criminal. It makes people into drones that have no personality. I think that's why a lot of people go crazy in this country. Like, people kill each other, and it's like they're doing things they don't want to do, and they don't have the kind of support or companionship that they need. Everything is sort of every man out for himself here. It's a difficult world. All right, thank you. I gotta go. Have a good one. Fuckhead. All right, tell me when you're ready. Ready?
I'm ready. Rolling.
Oops. I think you have to try to enjoy yourself no matter where you are. Even if you live in a cardboard box, try to have fun. So I think if you're working a job that you hate, you may never really love it, but you could try to have more fun or enjoy it more if you can. That's enough. Enough already. Enough, you. I do have a day job and I'm busy, okay? Like me. 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 Please. You gotta like me. You know Facebook, right? Like me. Like me. Like me. Like me. Have fun. It's Friday. It's almost Friday. It's almost Friday. Oh, hi. Have a good day. It's almost Friday. Like me. Like me. Like me. My eyelash is falling off though, but can you see it? Does it matter? Like me. Like me. You like me? Please, help! Like me. Like me. Like me. I could blow my whistle somewhere. You like me?
Love you.
Yes! I love you guys! Have fun tonight! Yay! Have a great night! Like me! Like me! Like me! See, it's not just about yelling. Hey! You like me? Hey! Damn jerks, no one likes me. Well, screw them. I don't like them either. Guess what? I'll rip their motherfucking heads off. Yes, I will. You pick that up, you. Pick that up.
Oh my god.
That's kind of funny. I'm on it all the time. I'm basically on Facebook all day long, practically. I post anything that, like if I'm in a new show or in some kind of party, or I take a few photos here and there. Instagram, like I try to post something a different photo every 3 or 4 hours if I can. Maybe like 5 things a day at least. I post a Vine maybe like every couple of days. Primal scream therapy. You'll feel better. You're a bad boy. Yeah. Here's my new song. Hey! 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 Hey!
What? Hey, look over here, shithead. What's your name? Your name Kenny? You're on your face. Crazy? Who are those people?
Fuck you. Stick it up your rear end. You're an asshole. Fuck you. Motherfucker. Piss, shit, fuck, suck. If I see something happening that's particularly noteworthy or important, I will tweet it. I think I give some people life because they feel like, here I am. I'm a middle-aged woman, but I am very active, and they like the way my attitude to life and the way I dress. And so a lot of times people find it uplifting and they find it funny. So it's a persona. It's part of my art, self-expression. I'm trying to become well-known enough or influential enough so that I can make more money. So right now I have barely enough money to live on. The more following I have, eventually, hopefully, it will give me some kind of, if not income, at least some kind of influence. It's like that happens occasionally. Like I'm walking down the street, and somebody like who I've never met before recognizes me, and they know me on Instagram and stuff. I do get some attention that way, and that can be kind of fulfilling. I like being a celebrity. The more I'm out there, the better. I should be on all the time. People should be making documentaries about me. They should be photographing me constantly. They should be interviewing me. They should know me. I should be a constant presence in everybody's life.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Ooh, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Ooh, what you gonna do? But I come for you. What you gonna do? But I come for you. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Shake that motherfucking ass and move it. Otherwise, you're boring. And put some fucking makeup on and look your best.
I think Jerry Visco is a creative person who breaks all the rules and is here to show us that life is too short and just do whatever the hell you want. We go to a writing seminar and we get stuck in a lift. Only with Jerry can you get stuck with a lift.
All right, I'm stuck in an elevator with 8 people. New York Public Library. I'm stuck here. Everybody's calm, but it's been 10 minutes.
We're standing there waiting for the guy to come. And Jerry gets impatient, so she gets the whistle and just starts blowing the whistle endlessly. And I'm just looking at her like, what do I do? How do I stop her? And I realized there was no stopping her, but the other people looked like they were in hell.
Stuck in an elevator. Oh, can you believe it? Don't take elevators. Yes, thank you. Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good. Thank you. So glad you made it.
Up right here?
Are you sure I can't just...
It'd be easier if you use the store. Can you put the phone away?
Don't you think the library would be better prepared for this? You know? Oh, shit.
It's really quite an experience hanging with Jerry, and it's a roller coaster, and when you get on that roller coaster, there's just no getting off.
What is a club kid? I'm a fucking club kid. I think that being a club kid is fun. It's about learning how to go out and have a good time, and somebody who's known by being on the scene. I became a club kid after 50. I mean, I did go out to nightclubs when I was in my 20s and sometimes in my 30s, but when I got rid of all the stupid boyfriends and husbands, that's when I became a club kid, because I could go out when I wanted, do what I wanted. I didn't have some stupid jealous boyfriend or husband yelling at me about it.
Let now the dead come alive.
Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and now Saturdays is coming back. Saturdays used to be for amateurs, but there have been more parties lately. You don't go out until 11:30 or midnight. I'm out till 4 a.m. And by the time I get to bed, it's 5 a.m.
I think that Jerry never goes anywhere thinking she's going to please anybody or how she is perceived by the world. She walks in and she's like Jerry, and if you think that she's a crabby old bitch, then she could not care less because she's doing Jerry. She's almost like it's about my energy. It's like what I'm creating. So how people view her, I think a lot of people think she's completely insane. I think people think that she's off her rocker. That kind of energy that's so disrespectful of what's conventionally seen as your way of behaving, which is just conditioning, which can be like major handcuffs, and breaking that down can be really healthy, and she certainly breaks it down.
So fuck off, everybody! Yeah, yes! Fuck off! Fabulous queens! Stick it up your rear ends, everybody! If you keep going out over and over again, you start developing a network of people, and people know you. They know you from Facebook, but also from the nightlife, and then they have a fondness for you. And it's like you're allowed to be yourself, and you're allowed to look how you want to look. People are drunk and they're on drugs a lot of times, and I don't like people on drugs at all. And also you can lose your phone or get into some kind of argument.
Clumsy piece of shit! Learn how to exercise! You're clumsy and stupid!
Or like I chipped my tooth because some of those nightlife places are so stupidly dark. It was like wet in the floor, I slipped and my fucking tooth is chipped. Well, guess what? I don't ever want to go back to any nightlife experience again, ever. Screw that. You need to exist in your moment, in the present, and feel good at that moment and not constantly worry about the future, with the future being tomorrow. Like, okay, all I know is I feel good right now. All I know is I'm going to put my makeup on and look my best, and I don't care how long it takes. However long it takes, it's got to be done. And if I'm out and I'm having a great time, then I'm having a great time, and I'm not going to cut it short.
Mi chiamo Geraldina Visco. Ed io non ho paura di niente. Non sono mai stanca, neppure triste. Ho creato la festa di Jerry perché si deve godere la vita e vivere nel presente. Ci si deve sentire bene, altrimenti qual è il punto di essere vivi? La mia vita sembra tutto divertimento, ma cose terribili mi sono successe.
My eyes are not behind me at all. I don't have one eye back there. You have to look at. You're wrong. See? I know what I'm doing here. You don't.
Ha soltanto amici maschi che sono tutti gay, ma non c'è nessuno ad aiutarmi nel caso di un'emergenza. Non ho una famiglia, sono sola.
Enough. Actually, this is very comfortable here. All right. All right. But wait a minute, I want to get my boombox out too.
La mia filosofia è di non stare con persone se non li vuoi molto bene. Vedo gli anziani camminare insieme come anime naufragate e rovinate che si aggruppano insieme per forza. Meglio soli che male accompagnati. È per questo che sono sempre single.
But try to make sure that my leg is 90 degrees, otherwise my yoga teacher will get mad at me. You know what I mean? Is it 90? That is horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Every single one of those sucks. Big time. Sucks, sucks, sucks.
Sii te stesso e non permettere a nessuno di imporre la sua visione per la tua vita. Rendi ogni momento favoloso. E per caso, se qualcuno cerca di rovinarti la vita, digli vaffanculo.
I was an adorable little kid. Like I was this adorable little blonde-haired, blue-eyed kid. My mother used to dress me to the nines. I think the fact that I was dressed to the nines all the time, I wasn't conforming to the other kids at all. I did not know that you had to like act like them in order to fit in. And I never tried to fit in. So from the first grade throughout high school, I was constantly made fun of. I was tortured. I would go on the bus and the whole bus would stop and start calling me names. It was horrible. It's like when Jesus Christ gets put on the cross. That's exactly what happened to me. Yeah, my mother she wasn't the sharpest knife in the drawer. Not at all. The one thing about her was she was obsessed with Hollywood. So she knew a lot about Hollywood movies and, she was obsessed with her looks. She looked in the mirror constantly, but she was not an intellectual and she was not good with practical details. She was an excellent cook, yes. She was practical in like making dinner and stuff, but when it came to like in the real world, no. I was practical with that. I had to do everything myself. Oh, God will provide for us. She would like go to church and pray and light candles. Well, guess what? God did not provide for us. He didn't provide. She didn't know how to deal with things in the real sense. My dad, I don't think ever once said he loved me, not once. And neither did his mother. Like that side of the family, that Italian mountain people, they don't say a lot of nice things. People from the mountains in Italy are tough. They're tough, they're cold, and they're killers. My first memory of my dad was him throwing a fruit bowl at us. And he would scream at us and he would yell. He would break things. I mean, I do have a temper myself. I think he was bipolar, which is what I'm hypomanic myself. My mother catered everything towards my father, and so she gave up her own social life and her own career as a singer because of my father. Her whole life was about pleasing my father and being his servant. My mother became an alcoholic, unfortunately. I mean, I think that she felt very neglected by my father, and so that's why. And of course, being a little Irish, her parents were kind of alcoholics also. But she became a down and out alcoholic. I remember as a child, she would just lie on the couch. She was out of it. And like, she would like have her pussy. You could see her pussy because she would like sprawl out. You could she was like totally out of it. But I mean, me and my sister understood because my dad was mean and he would hit her and yell at her. He was a very abusive person. So when they broke up, she left and she did not get a good settlement from him. He married somebody else. She was kind of a conniving, I mean, okay, it's a stereotype, but a conniving Jewish stepmother. She somehow made him change the will so that me and my sister got absolutely nothing back whatsoever. Like we got like $1,000 or something, and meanwhile my grandmother just died and they had like close to $1 million. So the $1 million or whatever all went to my father, and then when he died, my dad suddenly got brain cancer, and all the money went to my stepmother, who refused to allow me to come visit him when he was dying. She never let me bury his ashes in our family plot. Actually, if I saw him now, I would love to let him have it. I would love to tell him, like, how dare he? And if I could kill him, I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't even feel bad about it. Like, I would kill Hitler, and I would kill Charles Manson, and I would kill my dad. Yeah. And I wouldn't feel one bit of guilt. Most of the pictures that I'm showing are from Bobby Bushnell when we first met. Now, here's actually a picture of me and Bobby Bushnell. This is when I first met him, when we were in high school.
It was a mutual admiration when we met each other. I really admired the fact that Geraldine was a strong, independent woman who was intelligent, who dressed really interesting, sloppy, but interesting, really weird and good. Geraldine was the best friend you could possibly have. We were always together. We would fight, but we would fight like brother and sister. Originally, we were like brother and sister.
I moved here in 1974 with Bobby Bushnack. It was like a terrible place. It was dangerous. Anybody that wanted to go there would have to be crazy. But of course, I wanted to be a famous actress, a famous fashion designer, a famous writer. So I left Boston because Boston was okay, but it was kind of boring, and it wasn't possible to be like a major star there. So I moved to New York. Then we moved into Manhattan, and we moved to the Upper West Side because we had these friends. They were living in the Park Royal apartment, which was on 23 West 73rd Street, which is right across the street from the Dakota. Once when there used to be this crazy doorman who was Spanish and was always pulling some crazy shit. He blocked the driveway so I couldn't pull out. I had like something important to go to. So guess what I did? I slit his tires with a knife. And he didn't do it again. The rent was like $450 a month for a 2-bedroom and 2-bathroom apartment. Of course, years later, the same apartment sold for $750,000. Fuck you, grandparents. You piece of shit Italian assholes. Yes, they could have bought it for me. And they would have owned it. It would have given them $1 million. No, they were too cheap. They wanted to give all the money to my stepmother. Yeah, Vafangul, you stupid grandparents. Back then, you would like walk around and you would be thinking, oh my God, somebody could stab you in the back when you're walking up the stairs in the subway. There was always that kind of feeling. But we didn't care about the gritty danger. We actually were attracted to that. What was interesting about Central Park back then was it was where the gays used to go and have sex. It's called the Rambles. Now, of course, I didn't go there, but I'd have these gay male friends and they would go out to the Central Park and get laid. And I was kind of annoyed and jealous. Because I was very attractive, men would try to proposition me. Like, I'd be walking down my street and some guy would be like, proposition me. I think that happened once in my block and the guy gave me $100. I mean, I don't remember exactly what we did, but it was a quickie. I miss men's attention in one way because they would be very direct. And even though I would turn most of them down, it was just nice to have people give me attention, you know? Now, guys may look at you, but they try to ignore you and they're trying to be politically correct so that they don't want to like offend you. I would rather have somebody call out to me. Even I'll scream back at them. On the train back then, men would they would expose themselves to you and they would have erections, and I would wear these like spiked heels. And I remember once on the train, I had this really high spike heels and I went like, wow, right in the guy's instep. You know, I got rid of him. So I'd say living in New York in the 70s like that toughened me and made me afraid of nothing. Bobby Bushnack and we used to do these massages for people, which did have happy endings. So that was our entree into that kind of a world, and I was able to pay the rent. It was like, whoa, I can pay the rent now. I guess after that, I put an ad in Screw Magazine. My ad in Screw Magazine was Sexy College Girl, Ursula, Sexy College Girl, Your Place or Mine. You would put the ad in, and men that were interested in seeing you would call on the phone. And back then, there wasn't even answering machines. You would just plug the phone in, and I would unplug it for the night sometimes, but people would call at all hours. I probably saw like four guys a day, mostly. Back then, $40 with just $40 straight cash, it was good. So you'd have a half and half. A half and half would be a blowjob and fucking. And so $40 for 40 minutes. I did have this one guy who was kind of a nice guy who lived in the West Village, who was a foot fetishist. And he would come up to my apartment. he would like, I would have to wear these spike shoes and I would wear these stockings, and he would like smell my feet and jerk off, but he'd pay like a lot, like maybe $100 or 50, I don't know. It would just, we're talking about 20 minutes. So basically I've had sex with about, I think about 3,000 or 4,000 men or people. But if you're going to count hand jobs, like sometimes it was just, okay, a hand job, but that's sex. I don't feel like I'm a bad person. I don't feel like that my whole life has changed. You could have sex in any situation and it doesn't necessarily affect you for the rest of your life. It shouldn't. But I don't know that much about dog sex, but I would say, imagine if we were a dog, what would it be like? All dogs can have sex with strangers and they don't give a crap. They forget about it. I mean, yes, they may find some attachment, of course. They do, but come on, let's get real here. It was okay, but I think I did it for too long because I should have gotten involved in a career earlier and it would have maybe propelled me to a higher place. I'm not good at like saving money and stuff, and so I would make money and I would go out and buy clothes and I would just let Bobby buy whatever he wanted, and it was fun in a way to have quick money like that. But the thing about Bobby Bushnach was I was in love with him, but he was gay. He didn't fuck me, but meanwhile, he lived off me, and that's why I had to be a hooker, because I had to pay for the rent and pay for all the expenses was high. And in one way I didn't mind because I felt like it gave me a certain amount of control, but then he also had a violent temper and was difficult.
Ugh. Yeah, that was coming on for a long time. Geraldine tends to give herself a lot more credit for my photos. I did all the hair, I did all the makeup, I dressed her, I posed her, I lit her, it was all completely me. And unfortunately, it became that way in almost everything in her life. If she was going out, she wanted me to dress her. She always came to me for my opinion and blah, 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 blah. And it became overwhelming. And when I started pulling back in our personal life, as far as being her Svengali, she didn't like that. And she would resist and she would be in my face. Just like if I would ignore Geraldine, she would be physically in your face. She would grab my balls. She would do whatever she had to do to get attention, which is when we started hitting. Then it would be a slap or a pull your hair and she back and forth. I don't think she ever hit me first, honestly, I'll tell you. But she would goad me on, and she was trying to get me to love her back, I guess. I was always very honest, always very clear that there was no way anything was ever going to happen with Geraldine or any woman. And she was my sister. Why would I want to fuck my sister? I didn't understand that whole thing.
You know, being in love with Bobby Bushnach, I devoted myself to paying for him. And in retrospect, it was a waste of time and my money.
The one way I could get Geraldine back was financially. So I would make her buy me things like sushi and stuff, you know, octopus. I'd make her go get me octopus. It became unhealthy. It did. But the problem was that with Geraldine, you were either the dominant or the passive. I was dominated at home, and I left home at 12 so that would never happen again, and I certainly wasn't going to let Geraldine dominate me or anybody dominate me. So I had to be the dominant one, and that's what happened.
At a certain point, after 7 years, I had to have him thrown out because it was like, okay, I decided to quit being a hooker, and I did not want to have to pay the rent for other people or pay for them for everything.
Geraldine and I had no contact at all. That's when she was with Jimmy the whole time.
I kind of fell in love with this bisexual guy named Jimmy Simone, who's dead now. He died from hepatitis C, but he lived on the 6th floor. He also had a sugar daddy living with him, but the guy was only around 2 or 3 days a week. Maybe like a year or two into the game, I did not get the feeling he was having safe sex, and I felt like he was lying to me. And he was. Like, he used to go to the docks and get laid with people there. Come on. He was like one of those gay or bisexual guys that says, oh, I only let guys blow me, I never do anything else, which I don't think was true at all. I wanted to have children, and he wasn't interested, so I dumped him, and I wound up getting married to this guy named Paul. In one way, I didn't even like him that much. I liked his friend better. He was all right looking, but he wasn't my type. But he pursued me so avidly that I wound up getting married to him. No, he didn't even go to college.
Didn't have college, okay. But artistic, and the
Yeah, he was
carpenter
an artist. He was very
okay.
talented artist, you know.
And real big temper.
Very big temper.
And physically abusive.
Yes.
Well, if the fucking shirt is dirty, it's because you didn't wash it.
We had our honeymoon in this gorgeous spa in Big Sur. He was angry with me about something, and I can't remember what it was. And like he threw my suitcases on outside the car, and he took off and left me there.
Fucking break.
That's not okay. I should have just said, okay, forget it. This is an insane person. He would get into fights with people at work, and then he would wind up quitting, and so I had to support him. Like I supported Bobby Bushnack, and then I wound up having to support Paul, my husband. I mean, he was good in bed. He was a Libra. He's one of the few people that could have intercourse with me that made me have an orgasm by intercourse alone. The weird thing is his penis was not really that big. It was smaller than most people's, but he knew what to do.
All you do is you fucking insult me.
I kind of felt like not that long into the marriage that it wasn't working. But I'm like one of these people that doesn't like to end things quickly. So it sort of lingered on for like a year or so after the marriage, and I really wanted it to end much sooner. After I got rid of Paul, I did wind up meeting this guy named David Heyman, who was rich. He was a best-selling author.
Hi.
Oh, okay, hi, how are you? Come on in.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, you're going to play my ex, huh?
Yeah.
He insisted that I move in with him, so I gave up my my rent-stabilized apartment. Even though he was a millionaire, he made me pay half the rent, and I had to pay. I actually was losing money by living with him. And he promised that he was going to marry me when I moved in, and he didn't. He became impotent shortly after I moved in because he was an alcoholic, and I'm living with an impotent man that can't even screw me. I mean, we had sex, but it was still not the best. Look, you. And he was really mean. He used to hit me. And one time the police were called. The neighbors heard him beating me up, and the police came and they locked him up. I should have prosecuted, but I didn't. Of course, I was stupid. I could have made money out of the whole thing, but no. He started sleeping with somebody while I lived with him, and that was horrible. I mean, that was horrendous. He made me move out on New Year's Eve, and he was like so cruel about it. And he lied to me and never told me about it, but I found out that he married her. And of course, when he died a couple of years after marrying her because she couldn't cook and he had diabetes. Like, I think he realized, like, I was really, like, I used to cook for him. I would clean, I would do everything for him. She killed him in a way. Not purposely, but she wound up getting probably the $1 million that he left her, which I got nothing. No. So I've basically been screwed over by every man I've ever been with. Okay, bye. Maybe really nice people turn me off. I don't know. It's sad. But I mean, I don't think that's so uncommon. I feel like a lot of guys are with very mean people. I do think there are some people that do have nice partners, and it would be nice to have somebody like that. But for some reason, I don't know. It hasn't happened to me. I've never had anybody that was that nice to me. Never. It's a flaw that I have. The minute somebody hits you for something that you didn't do that bad, dump them. Don't let somebody ever hit you. Period. The minute that happens, get rid of them. And actually, if you get rid of them and maybe they suddenly like reform, then they may never do it again. But if you let it happen, they'll keep doing it. What else do you want to know, bitch? Yes, I am fascinating, and most other people aren't that fascinating. Why? I have spirit, I have energy, I'm smart, I'm good looking, I'm honest. Sometimes I think I even scare partners away because I'm in a good mood. Or at work, I think the fact that I'm kind of in a good mood, I'm very confident, I look good, I think sometimes it might scare some people off. Well, guess what? Fuck them. I'd rather be alone than be with somebody like that that's constantly in a bad mood or whatever.
I'm ready for this to
ass real quick.
We're not going to make yoga thanks to you. I could kill you. Maybe if we walked a fair way, I'd make you dinner, even though you'd rather eat your own crappy food. He's going to try to find me. Come on. I'm grocery shopping in the city. Go grocery shopping. Don't go to restaurants, cook. I'm cooking! I'm cooking and making chicken.
You're my freaky girl, freaky girl, freaky girl. You're my freaky girl. You're my freaky girl, freaky girl, freaky girl. You're my freaky girl.
The first time I was raped, I was 16. I was driving my car with Bobby Bushnack, and of course he was involved in the stupidity again. He insisted I pick up this hitchhiker, who I did, and stupidly I dropped him off and I was still with this hitchhiker who wound up raping me. How dumb is that? He pretended he had a gun or a knife or something and he was gonna kill me. I was scared, but I didn't want to fight him because he was a guy and he was bigger than me and stronger than me. The ironic thing that happened is that the car would not restart. The battery died. And so the weird thing is he had to help me he walked with me to the gas station, which was a bit out of the way, to try to get somebody to come and get the car and give me a jump start. I think he felt worse about the car stalling out than him having sex with me. I mean, he wasn't a bad looking guy, he was kind of young, but it's like, yeah, what was his point? I don't even know, you know? It was annoying. But then I had to go home, and I think they called my dad, and so I think my dad had a sense that I was raped, but I don't think we ever discussed it. So that was kind of embarrassing also. The second time I was raped, I was out again with Bobby Bushnack, and it was New Year's Eve, and we were at this club called The Other Side. All I know is we were sort of walking out of there, and we saw some guy in a car that we knew him, and he's like, oh, do you guys want to ride? So we said, sure. He was in the car with these two guys in the car. So we get in the car, and they kidnapped us. We were so scared, I felt like I was going to shit my pants. It was like we were sure that we were all going to get killed. See, the thing about me is, I think I'm the kind of person that denies things that are difficult, so I was sort of acting like it was nothing. I didn't care, and I was maybe even laughing. I totally denied the fact that it was an upsetting experience. We did call the cops, but there was nothing they could do. So that was the second time. The third time was when I moved to New York. I think I was in my early 20s, like maybe 21. I was doing these out calls for this agency that was like a hooker agency, and they sent me to this apartment up in Manhattan Avenue, which then was a very bad area. It was like the projects. He pulled out a knife, and then he didn't pay me. He had sex with me, and he also had anal sex, which I hate. And it's like he made me give him a blowjob afterwards, and tasted my ass on his dick. It was like kind of horrible. Then his grandmother came home when I was still there, and she was like, what are you doing here? And I think she mentioned that I think he'd done this many times before, and she was mad at him. I was able to get out of the apartment because she was there, and I found some police there. I saw them on the street, and they went up and they arrested him. He'd raped many other women, like maybe 4 or 5 or maybe more. I was the first person to prosecute. I used to have to go down to the courthouse all the time to testify and whatever. The thing is, when I came home, Bobby Bushnack was planning on doing this party. He was not sympathetic or nice at all, and he was going to plan this party even though after what had happened to me. And so I tried to commit suicide. I took an overdose of pills. I didn't actually die, of course, I'm still alive, but I did try. So rape is a bad thing, but rape isn't as bad as cancer. It isn't as bad as being killed or stabbed or beaten the crap out of. I mean, it's unpleasant, but I feel like people that they hate some things about themselves, and so they take it out on other people, you know. So, and I do feel like sexuality can be frustrating and also confusing. But I mean, also, of course, being a rapist it means the person is really messed up. I mean, it's stupid. Like that guy could have, how much? He could have paid $40 and had sex with me. Big deal. What's wrong with that? No, he had to fucking rape me? That's cheap. It's called cheap. I mean, ultimately it was a long time ago and I don't care anymore, you know? But I know my way around, so I think if somebody tried to rape me now, I would know what to do. Sex is a pain in the ass and a pain in the pussy, but it's fun too. I think that people make sex into a dirty, disgusting thing, and I think that makes it more appealing. But I also feel like that's ridiculous. I feel like, why shouldn't people be naked? Why shouldn't they have sex? Just, I mean, why is it forbidden and why is it X-rated? I don't believe in that. Next time, you gotta get some stuff that's better bubbled. I can order it on Amazon. Marital sex is boring, let's face it. It's basically because our culture is so hung up on stupid things like money, security, you know, all that kind of stuff, so that it precludes just feeling, you know, great, or just having fun or enjoying yourself. So I feel that a lot of married couples just are there, stuck with each other. All right, hurry up, come on. I'm getting a little bored. Maybe you want to have a monogamous relationship and be faithful, but if it's just not working and it's not fun, do it on the slide, just never let that person know. And so what? It actually might help your relationship with that person. I feel like all these sort of categories like gay, straight, blah, 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 it's so boring and so stupid. It's like, who gives a fuck? People should have sex with whatever they want to do at that moment. I mean, they shouldn't have to like explain it to people. They don't have to be politically correct. Like, get the fuck out of here. Just have sex and shut the fuck up. You don't have to be part of a group. You know, I mean, what if you meet somebody you like and they're not part of that like culture? Well, that's just too bad. Go with it. I feel like also people should try different things. Like, okay, maybe they're not into S&M and that sort of thing, but maybe they should try it, you know? Maybe they don't do it every time. Maybe they do it once. So what? If you're straight, having gay sex. If you're gay, having straight sex. If you're old, having young sex. I mean, I don't know. I feel like everybody should experiment a little bit. Like, I'm not interested in somebody crapping on my face or vice versa. I'm not interested in enemas. Bukkake, not interested. No. I mean, I think I've tried most other things. And I'm not going to have sex with children or animals. No, sorry. I do not like anal sex. I hate it. It makes me feel like I gotta take a crap. Like, what's so fun about having to take a crap? All right, it's satisfying in the long run, but I don't find that erotic. Like, I got some fucking thing on my ass and it's like, hurts like shit. And it's like, no, I don't find that actually fun. But I like doggy style, that's good. Or, I actually am sometimes very fond of foreplay. Like, sometimes if you could have somebody screwing you and that their penis is in you, but you don't let them go in the whole way, but just like a little bit, just a tiny bit. And then it's like, oh my God. They're like, what? What's going on? You just don't let them. Then when they actually do it, it's like, whoa, it's a reward. Don't always tell everybody everything. Sometimes do stuff and don't tell your friends and don't tell your partners. Also, don't feel bad or feel guilty about things. Although sometimes a little guilt is sexy, but don't like dwell on it. Let it happen. Some people worry too much. They think about things. They prevent themselves from having orgasms or sleeping or enjoying themselves, and that's stupid. Go beyond that. I've got a shitload of regrets. People that are afraid, they're afraid to admit it. Well, guess what? I'm not afraid. I'm afraid of nothing. I got a shitload of regrets. I'm pissed off that of the people that I went out with. I totally regret it. I'm pissed off that I didn't fight with my parents to make sure that I got a better inheritance. I mean, I'm pissed off that I left my apartment on West 73rd Street. I totally regret many things. Yeah, I would like to have had one or two kids. The thing is, I did get knocked up when I was at Goddard College when I was 18, but I wasn't even with the guy anymore, and I was in first year at college, so I decided to have the abortion. And I had an IUD, which was 97% effective, and I still got pregnant, which was unexpected. So I had an abortion. In one way, I almost wish that I didn't, but I would have had to raise the kid myself when I was 18 years old by myself. Yeah, I would have been a good mother, for sure. Well, they would have eaten well, they would have been exercising. I would have been very ambitious for them. I think that it would have been better to have parents that were a bit more proactive in raising me. I was bullied at school and made fun of because I didn't fit in with them. I was always very unique or whatever. And she would just say, oh, just smile, turn the other cheek, don't fight back. Totally the wrong thing. I should have taken karate and punched the shit out of those bitches. We're both Jerry. You're Jerry? Yeah, sure we are. Yeah. I'm like a kid. I feel like I am a kid. I don't feel like there's any difference, really. Whereas I think a lot of parents or adults try to distinguish themselves from kids, but I don't. They let themselves have fun. I think adults at a certain point make themselves not have fun and they get depressed. Do I have to tell you the truth? I'm 25, and I'll always be 25. You understand? I'm like a 25-year-old teenage boy. Okay, technically, I was born in 1954. It was nice being younger in some ways, and I feel like you get more people hitting on you, which is good. But on the other hand, there's other problems that you have. Like, okay, you're getting hit on so much you don't know what to do, and you wind up being with stupid people. You understand how to deal with things better when you're older. But when you're younger, you get more opportunities, but then you don't know how to take advantage of them. When I did have relationships, which I've had almost all my life, it's like you'd always like think, oh, gee, what is he thinking? Is he mad at me? Is he bored? You'd always be constantly like worrying about what the other person is thinking. Now I just don't care. And I'm not afraid of things. And it's like, whatever. I don't give a crap. It's very freeing. I don't have that many aches and pains or anything. I don't really feel that different. Okay, I've had people say my pussy was like a high school girl's. It's actually true. I don't have that sort of saggy old kind of, I don't have it. I just decided okay, I don't have to look old. I don't have to behave old. And even if I did have kids, I guarantee you that I'd be jumping around partying with them too. Is it the right angle? Huh?
Is my leg the right angle?
Yes. Perfect.
Yes, 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 yes. I had a horrible episode a few months ago where it was 3 hours of vomiting bile. Normally that it's just like, okay, a little bit and it's over. It's clear liquid though. It's clear liquid. So like I make the delicious spaghetti pasta sauce, but the red sauce is a little bit difficult for me to eat. I can have tomatillo sauce, but red sauce a little more irritating. That's the FDR. You ever hear of it? Here, come on. That guy just went through the light. Do you see that?
How gorgeous is it? It's the Ed Koch Queensboro Bridge. Yeah. No, I'm not gonna gorgeous, darling. We're on the East River. Look at that.
Don't make me kick you in the freaking balls if you even have any balls. I'm gonna fucking kick you in them. Now let's go get some fucking dinner now, or I'm gonna freaking kill you. You get it, cuntola? Come on. I'm hungry, pig. Hey, pig. I'm fucking hungry. Get it? Fuck you.
I'm not ready at all, so don't bother me. Don't bother me. Get in here. I'm not going to even talk to you. Get in here. You took 3 seconds to get in there. Stop it. Get the bitch socks in. Get the bitch socks in.
Oh, they're in there.
Any good? All right, we gotta fucking go. So get out of here, you. Where's my bag? Did you steal it? Where'd I put it? Nothing like having bitch socks. Come on, let's go. Get out of my way, you're gonna make me late. Out of the way. Where's my fucking bag? Get out of here. Where'd it go? Oh, I like the nightlife. I got the boogie. I'm just gonna take my to-go cup because I don't like vodka. I drink gin and tonic. I don't want cheap free vodka. So I'm gonna take my gin and tonic, put this in my Minnie Mouse thing, and put it up my underwear or my pussy. Yeah. I mean, it's just, I get all free alcohol, but I don't drink vodka. It's for cheap people. Vodka's for cheap, stupid people. I'm an intellectual. I drink gin, but I don't think they're gonna check under here somehow. What do you think? I get a feeling they're not gonna check under my underwear. It's my colostomy bag because I was in the surgery recently. Wait, you didn't close the door. Are you stupid or retarded or what? Don't you ever do that again.
Up there on the dance floor, we can make sandwiches. Yeah. We can be the fun. And I can be the burger girl. Yeah. I know you wanna do it. We can make sandwiches.
I have a strong feeling that she wants to have fame. Why she wants to have fame? Maybe because she knows she has talent and she wants it to be recognized. But I think that there's 10 years of her life that went missing because she was in an abusive relationship. She's also trying to make up that time. On top of all this crazy mad energy, I think there's a little bit of sadness, a little, deep down that wants connection, either with a human being, with a significant partner, or maybe with fame.
Thank my booty! Thank my booty! Oh yeah!
That's why I think she's so full on now, looking for fame, because maybe because of her past relationship, she realizes maybe this fame might even be more reliable.
Thank my booty! Bang it!
So I think it's a searching, like we all do. How do we reach something that really makes us satisfied and happy and really completes us? She'd be like, you fucking asshole, I know what I'm doing, I know what I've been in therapy for 10 years, you know. But I really do think that there might be a subconscious drive there to find love, and she may fall into the wrong arms sometimes.
Yes! Yes for that.
bitches, I got a day job. Stick it up your fat rear end. See you later, pig. Hey, fuckhead. See you later, pig. Our life is too much trouble. I don't want it. I'm sick and tired of it. I want to have fun, and you guys do too. Why are we fucking living a life like this? Fuck it! Fuck this shit! We need to enjoy our lives. We don't need all this stupid crap with the fucking credit cards and the stupid crap with the rent and the student loans. Fuck that shit! And the stupid day jobs. We're artists. Fuck it, alright. Come over and dance, somebody. Hey, bitches. Alright, Jerry, I'm with parties, down with work. 9 to 5 makes me feel like a jerk. It's a Jerry party.
Join the Jerry party.
It's the Jerry party.
Join the Jerry party.
Yeah, it's a Jerry party.
Join the Jerry party. Join the Jerry party.
Stick it up your rear end.
Some guy's in my bathroom, he's cleaning out the tub. That's a nice thing, isn't it? I have a roommate that doesn't do it, you know what I mean?
We're on the river, Central Park, Patrick.
Row your boat.
Row up your asshole.